everybody, and welcome to Barnstormers Travel. Today we're going to talk about our recent cruise on the Carnival Breeze out of Galveston, Texas. Along with Eileen and I, we had our best friends, Haas and Janet. They came out of the Georgetown area, and we had two couples come out of the San Antonio area, and another couple that came all the way from London. Well, that's London, Texas, not quite London, England. And we all converged on the town of Galveston a day early. Three of the couples had never cruised before. Austin, Janet, and Eileen and I had. The other three who we've met through church had never cruised before, so we opted to cruise with them and do a short cruise out of Galveston to Cozumel and to Progreso. Just a little 5-day thing that the Breeze does quite often. The Carnival Breeze was the first Carnival ship that Eileen and I had ever been on, and that was about a month after things opened back up after the shutdown for almost over 500 days during the COVID thing. And it was a good ship. We really enjoyed it, and we thought this would be a good introduction to folks who'd never cruised before. And I got to tell you, it didn't disappoint us. As always, we recommend, and they agreed. We showed up a day early. We chose to stay at the Comfort Suites in Galveston. There are actually two Comfort Suites there, and we chose the one a little bit further away, further away from the terminal, closer to the airport, because of the amenities that they offered. They offered free long-term parking, so while we were on the cruise, we didn't have to pay for parking. They do offer a shuttle. They charge $25. It's a $25 round trip charge to the terminal and back when you get back, and it worked out just smooth for us. And I will do a separate video about Comfort Suites Galveston. But for now, just so you know, it was a good place to stay, and we'll definitely be back there again. They did a good job, and everything went well with that. Once we all arrived, it was about 5:30ish or so. We got together, and as always, with a small to large group, it took us a little bit of time to figure out exactly where we want to go. It was a Sunday afternoon, early evening, so we weren't sure what was quite open, but we were able to find a really great Greek seafood restaurant called Kritikos Grill down on the Seawall Boulevard there, and it was phenomenal. They were able to accommodate the large group that we had. I think we had about 12 or 13 people, and they were able to give us some amazing Greek food, and I got to tell you, the ouzo wasn't bad either. So, well, we got up the next morning, had a nice hot breakfast at Comfort Suites there, checked in with the drivers, let them know that we were waiting. We had two groups, one group that had signed on for the 9 o'clock show time. Austin, Janet, and Eileen and I signed up for the 10 o'clock since we had a 10 to 10:30 check-in time. 9 o'clock folks went out there, got a photograph of them all waiting, ready to go. Their first cruise, they're all excited. We got there probably about 15, 20 after 10. Great process, one of the best processes Eileen and I had been through on Carnival. They took us right through the proper check-in time. There's like people who check in early, and then there's people checking on time. We checked in on time. We got into that line, made it right through to security very quickly. Through security, upstairs, got checked in, showed the passports, did that. Then up to the waiting area, and when we got up to the waiting area, we did meet up with the other group, and we were some of the first to actually board because our muster station was A as in Alpha 3, and when once they called our muster station, we went in, and we had planned to go into the Red Frog Pub inside there to hang around, give everybody a place to set down their bags and everything, their carry-on bags, so we could explore the ship, go to the muster stations and all that. Worked out very, very well for us. And so folks got a chance to explore. When the Pig and Anchor show opened up, we were able to grab lunch. And after lunch, not too soon after lunch, they called us and let us know that we could go to our staterooms. Went to the staterooms, and as Eileen and I always do, we put our we do unpack, put our things away, put our signage up, and then headed up to the Lido deck to experience the sail away party. Sail away party was fun. People were already up there having fun. On the way out, we got to see the USS Texas. One of the only World War I dreadnoughts still around, that battleships are still around, and it's being refurbished in Galveston Harbor right now. And spent the rest of the day just kind of kicking around with the group. We had dinner in the Blush Lounge, met our steward, who is Maurice, and his sidekick Nathaniel did a wonderful job. More about them later. And then off to see the shows. Split up. Some of the folks went out and did their things. Everybody just kind of split off and had a really good time, and decided we'd meet downstairs at some place for breakfast the next day. I think actually we ended up just kind of milling around because it was a sea day and had a really good time. So about half of us spent the day at Paradise Beach Club Cozumel. They're in Cozumel. We've done a video review of that in the past. You might want to check it out. Had a great time. Obviously, Rafi had a good time playing in the sand, playing in the surf side. We enjoyed the pool. Had a really good time. Had one other couple that decided to go and check out some of the culture, and got nice and warm and up close and personal in the jungle. And two of the guys decided to go take a Discovery scuba class. Our next stop on the third day of the cruise was Progreso, Mexico. Eileen and I had never been there before. We were up on deck to watch as the ship maneuvered into its spot. Kind of a cool place because the docks are actually a couple miles away from the mainland. There's a long causeway that we had to take to get into town. The city Progreso does provide free buses. We got off the ship, went through the shops as you'll normally see on any kind of Mexican or pretty much any Caribbean port. Got through the shops, got on the free bus. It was air conditioned, and drove into Progreso. Once we got at the bus station, somebody came on board there, a local, and told us all the tours that were available that you could take through them. And we opted to take the local city tour with our tour guide Francisco, and they took us around, had a really good time. Although part of my view was spoiled by the back of Haas's head there. But lots of entertainment as we got on and off the ship. Could take some photo opportunities, and this was our first time in Progreso, and that's why we decided to just go ahead and take the bus tour, and it did not disappoint us, and we'll enjoy going back to Progreso in the future. Our last day was another day at sea, and I just figured I'd throw up some highlights of some of the things that we did. I was very fascinated by the elevators in the atrium, so I took a lot of video of that. I figured I'll probably see it somewhere in the near future. We had a towel teddy bear at our room that day when we came back in. Our steward Jenny had left it there for us. That morning we also had a Cat in the Hat, green eggs and ham breakfast. We enjoyed that with Cat, with John and Lillian and little Rafi and Sarah. Just a little family time, enjoying the Dr. Seuss characters. Later on in the afternoon, we went to a veterans tribute. It's always done by Carnival Cruise Lines. They do a really good job, and got a chance to meet some great Americans on board the ship that day. Then it was about dinner time, we'd pretty much packed the bags, got together, had a really nice dinner. We took care of our dining staff. Did a really good job, and then they sang their farewell song to us before we all headed off to bed and left for the next day. Well, we made it off the ship the next day, and we actually got off about an hour early. Took the shuttle back to the hotel. Cars were all in great shape and headed home. And about an hour outside of Galveston there, Eileen and I stopped at Showbles, which is in Columbus, Texas, and enjoyed a really good meal on the way home. So, y'all take care now, and you know what you're supposed to do. Go on vacation.